Hi everyone. How are y'all doing? There's sure a lot going on. Haven't done very many live presentations ever, but I just felt like it, and I guess what spurred me to doing this was my daughter set up a Marco Polo with, my kids and my husband and I and their family so that we could talk about it. And she works in a hospital setting and got to sit in Iowa, and she got to sit in on, here I am touching my face. I say not to do that, but my nose itched. Anyway, with the precautions and things that they're taking in Iowa, as far as, the hospital and, asking people, calling people and not having them come in for appointments, taking care of some of that, over the phone. And so, that was kind of interesting just to, hear her perspective. She, might be working from home. She's a counselor. In Wyoming, they've closed schools down, possibly. It's spring break right now, so they haven't done any for sure things, but the rec center and places like that are closed down, so the kids aren't congregating there. They're staying at home and figuring out, what to do at home. I'm in Lemon at my mom's, and we have self-quarantined here. My mom asked people not to come over after she got out of the hospital because there was a death in Rapid City, and we were right off of the emergency room for 3 days, in and out. Luckily, there wasn't very many people in the emergency room, but we did hang out there, while she was sleeping or whatever, and she just didn't want, just in case we got exposed, she didn't want anybody to, develop it from here. But she, we've been fine, no fevers, and she's been eating good and getting her strength back. So I've been here for about a week with her. On another note, I've seen, quite a few posts from people in this area, just, people going from anger to it's a hoax, I'm not afraid of anything, and to now, with schools closing and stuff in South Dakota, to what am I going to do with my kids? Am I going to be going to work? What all is happening? And I really think that people are starting to settle in to, what if it does come here? But, will it really? All of that. But when you live in a rural state like, South Dakota, Montana, North Dakota, Iowa, we're used to snowstorms. We're used to schools getting called off and being stuck out, out of town for a week and having to have the supplies for that. But, the reality is this could last a lot longer than that. So what kind of supplies do you have, in your house? And I had a kind of a weird experience, and I don't know if I was just imagining it or not, but I went out to the grocery store yesterday morning early. I'm always up super early anyway, so it was 6 o'clock. I thought, well, I'm just going to go out there before anybody else is out there. So I filled my pickup with gas and went in, and basically I was the only one there except for the person that in the the bakery part, and then Joe was there, and so I was getting my groceries, and I was in the back of the store, and this couple came in, and I just got this weird feeling they just like looking at me and veering at me, and I glanced up and I'm like, are they like looking at me like curiously, like am I sick or something? And I just kind of dismissed it and got a few more things. I was still walking along that back aisle, but I went into an aisle that they were in to get something, and they both just looked at me and got out of that aisle and went around the corner. And I thought, well, it must just be me. I'm just going to dismiss that. And it happened like 3 or 4 more times before I went up to the checkout, and they were checking out, and they both turned around and looked at me, so I just kept my distance back, which I was going to anyway. And I don't know, have any of you guys had that experience when you're out and about? Like, you're afraid to say anything. Like, somebody looked at me one day and said, well, we're cleaning everything in here. You don't have to be afraid of that virus. And it's nothing. And I just thought, well, I think it could be something. We don't know, where all of those people that were in the airports coming back from flying in from overseas, we don't know where any of those people live. And all of the people, hundreds of people that were at Disney 2 nights ago before they closed for, because of this, there was hundreds and hundreds of people there on the main street in Disney with their kids, and we don't know where any of those people are from. And they're starting to do more testing. I don't know if you could get tested around here or not, but what I've heard more than anything is that it's very hard to get tested if you think that there's something going on. So I've seen some really awesome posts on Facebook about people that are, normal homeschoolers of their kids offering help if, as the kids are going to be home, maybe some of the parents aren't going to have jobs to go to, depending on, what stores end up closing. And so they've offered to, help with, some of that if the kids are going to be learning from home, which I thought was pretty cool. They offered, different ideas and their services, like you can call me and they would share, different activities to keep the kids busy, because it's in a lot of areas it's way different than summertime because it's cold out and the kids will go out for a while maybe, but sometimes it's going to be inside. And if you're used to working, both parents, what to do to keep the kids busy and all of that. So I don't, the stress that people seem to be under, there's negative, there's positive. Stress really messes with your immune system, though. What I have been learning, I love to learn. I love to, get on the computer or on my smartphone and, look stuff up. And I'm in classes right now, so it can keep me busy and keep me from, thinking about stuff. I am not a high stress person, but if there's anything that you can do to that, if you like to read or maybe force yourself to read, I don't know, what the answer is for people, but I do know that if your worry or your stress is because you're afraid that you are going to get this virus, the best thing that you can do is to keep your immune system up however you can, whatever that is. If it's stocking up on supplies so that you don't have to go to the store for a month or a few weeks or whatever, I think that's perfectly fine. But if it's I need to get out and be able to shop or whatever, I think that's perfectly fine. But I don't think it's good that we're angry at the people that are doing that. I think that everybody controls their stress or deals with stress in a different way, and pointing fingers at anybody at this point, it doesn't do anybody any good. I think that we need to practice patience and, help our neighbors if we see people struggling, offer encouragement and love, and, be grateful for what we do have and, the family around us, and not be angry about the politics of this. The country needs to, do whatever they can to help the people, I believe. And if some of the businesses need help along the way, we have no idea where this is going to go or how big or vast it's going to be. I just hope that, it isn't as bad as it got in China or Italy. Some people have posted messages from loved ones that they have that live over in Italy or family members. And, when you read some of that stuff, it can be very disturbing. But I think that if we just do what we feel is right for our own families, I think that that's great. My mom is 95 years old. I've had the, absolute pleasure of being with her this week, and one of my nieces suggested that I ask her to tell stories about her life and just how she feels about different things. And so I put a message out on our family Facebook page to ask the grandkids and my siblings, what they would like to hear her talk about. So I've been videoing her, and we've had a lot of laughs and just memories, her memories of her life, and before she was married to my dad, and when they met, and during his hard time with his brain tumor when we were all little, and how she loved being a nurse, and funny stories about life on our farm when we were kids growing up, and just a lot of stuff. And there's a lot more to tell, so I've been sharing them on our family Facebook page, and actually put a few on here so that my mom is loved in this community, and she was the nurse for many, many, many years here, and continued to, walk around town and help people off and on for years and years and years. She still does that at 95. So coming from a small community and living here for all those years and being the nurse in town has really made an impact on, people's lives with her. And she's very soft, very compassionate, very, very giving. She has a very hard time accepting help. I told her maybe she needed to learn that skill also before her time on this earth is done. She's very prayerful. She's very concerned about other people and their well-being all the time. She has a lot of prayer cards and prayer books and pictures and different things from different people that mean a lot to her. And she's been writing letters and communicating on email, trying to answer emails and finding out how everybody's doing around the country that she knows. So be well, everybody. I am going to try to be compassionate and show love, and I might do another one of these lives because it seems to help me to be able to just talk it out a little bit. And here we've had a couple people drop things off at the door that my mom has needed, and sometimes I think she's better off here, but then if we have to keep coming back and forth from our homes, maybe it is better if she would come home with me, if she would be comfortable doing that. I want her to be comfortable, but yet, us coming back and forth, and, if they really quarantine us and they don't want us to drive, and, they're stopping even some of that activity later on, I would rather be at home where I can help Mike, and we have a busy business that, hopefully he will continue to be able to work and do that, but there's a lot of paperwork and different things that I have to do for that. I normally work from home with, my business, so, everything that I do isn't bothered with, this whole thing as far as my routine is. It's good. But I just want my mom to be comfortable, where she's at, and there's a lot of stuff and materials and supplies that we have to pack to move her, into my house, and she would be comfortable there, and I'm home anyway, except for, running to get supplies here and there. So anyway, we have some decisions to make, and as of now, I'm going to be going home, and my brother is coming unless something changes in the next day. So be well, everyone. I don't want to give anybody advice because we each have, our own ways of dealing with things. But if you'd ever like to talk, I'm here. Do what you need to, overcome the stressful, ideas or decisions that you have to make in your own life, because I'm sure that your life is impacted just like every other person, and I just think that we need to help each other through this whatever way that we can. So I love you all. Have a great day. It's going to be in the 40s here, which is great for South Dakota, and I'm looking forward to a little bit of sunshine. I'm hoping. It's pretty cloudy out there right now though. Okay, bye.